Oh, okay. Today's definitely going to be a good video, but I do want to mention that a little bit later, I'm going to tell you about a really awesome tool that's going to improve your Valorant gameplay, but a little bit more on that in a bit. For now, I want to talk about something that hasn't been improving, which is Valorant Ranked. There are going to be low quality games from time to time, but I'm going to get straight to the point and just say that low quality games are a much more normal thing nowadays than ever before. The quality of our ranked games as a collective has consistently dropped. Now, I have to reference Keo's video because he made an overall bigger video on Valorant. Once in a while, us creators like to make a video about why Valorant is quote unquote dying and what Riot can do in order to improve it as we spitball random ideas. However, this particular video is going to be focused on ranked, and to be honest, Valorant as a fundamental game is a majority ranked. You open the game, you're either warming up or playing ranked, trying to grind to either a new peak or to get back to the rank you once were. However, more than ever before, getting back to your rank is more and more difficult because the quality of the games are lower and lower. I like to call them sloppy games, where you feel like no one's trying as hard as you are. You can probably understand me fully. Let's say I talk to you Golds directly. You probably feel like you now have to make less mistakes than you ever had to make before in order to climb. You obviously acknowledge that you're not the best, but still, there is no doubt a frustration when your team is toxic or not communicating with you or not trying, and you feel just because you didn't kill, let's say, one player, the entire round goes to shit. You are not allowed to make as many mistakes as you used to, and that contributes across the entire ranked ladder. Actually, talking to multiple Radiants, or Keo himself in his own video, said more than ever he struggled to actually hit Radiant. And this rings true to all current Radiants, as I run another channel called Valorant Curios. I actually get Radiants to make custom matches, and a lot of these Radiants are peak Radiants, not current Radiants, and people complain about it without realizing that a lot of Radiants don't want to bother to grind back to Radiant because of how insufferable ranked has become. Now, again, to reference myself as well as Keo and multiple people who have all pointed this out, the leaderboard of Valorant is no longer even being pushed. Radiant slots are no longer filled season after season for multiple seasons. This is not new. This isn't some new news. It hasn't been filled for a hot minute. Not enough players care enough to grind up to the top. Proof in itself how much the quality of ranked has truly slipped. And personally, I do have the unique perspective of Valorant Curios, where I invite people from my Discord across multiple ranks, I vet their profile, and then I put them all into different games together. And let me just tell you, I have had people call Immortals boosted. I have people completely thinking I'm lying about a bronze just because they can now swing wide and one tap without realizing that bronze was likely once gold 3 and got ranked reset 3 times in a row. And every single hidden MMR that got ranked reset and not recalibrated due to the fact that the player was inactive or wasn't grinding is another player that is put back in the matchmaking pool and causes chaos. Ranked resets have destroyed ranked more than I can describe, and we're gonna get to that. But one thing that you want to make sure is never destroyed is your ping. You need good ping to play Valorant. Earlier I said I want to tell you a little bit about a tool, and that tool is GearUp. It is time for you guys to reduce your ping. When the servers get crowded, it can cause some issues, and those issues are about to vanish. I'm going to quickly boot up Valorant and show you that I have 60 plus ping right now, so I'm going to go ahead and close that game, download GearUp, click Valorant, allow it to auto boost. It'll do everything on its own. I will launch Valorant through the client, bada bing, bada boom. My ping is slashed in half, and the gameplay is very obviously improved. And if ping reduction wasn't enough, it has cross-region play, so if you want to go over to the EU, sometimes you can reduce your MS by 70 to 100 MS, making it easy to connect with friends worldwide, and anti-packet laws, so it is time to stabilize that gameplay by making sure to use GearUp. And in case you're afraid, they have an excellent Trustpilot score, so you can use them worry-free. Thanks to GearUp for sponsoring today's video. Make sure to use that link down below. Alright, but back to the video. The big thing here, like I just said, is that ranked resets, in my opinion, have hurt the quality of ranked over time. And I'm telling you why. I'm not saying inherently that when your rank gets light reset and you have to climb back, the system itself is completely broken. It's broken due to how long and how often we do it. And like I said, I was personally Diamond 1. I got ranked reset, I can't even count, multiple times, and I never played ranked. Like, I took a long break from ranked after Diamond 1, meaning at one point I was being placed like silver, and I was rusty. I was deserving of silver 100%. But as I sort of reaccumulated, I was being put with bronzes who stood no chance. I absolutely unbalanced a game due to the fact that I was brushing off the rust. This is just me, one story, and a very minor story. There are ranks that are way higher, like literally ascendants in gold, that we see consistently. You cannot tell me as a gold, silver, bronze, wherever. Actually, tell me whatever rank you are. You haven't seen buddies from the highest rank possible, like diamonds, seeing radiant gun buddies from same idea, who are like me, who took a long break, but the minute the rust shakes off, they are going to absolutely be basically smurfing through Riot's system, its own system, where they rank reset you too low, you're inactive, you've got to come back. Then the hidden MMR is just trying its best to give them as much RR as possible, as quickly as possible, no matter how good or bad they're playing, just to get them back to the rank that they were supposed to be. But then at that point, why multiple reset in the first place? Why even cause all that chaos? Why flip the entire ranked system on its head? Now, I wouldn't be yapping too much if I don't believe there is some sort of proposal or fix, and I do believe there is a fix, and best of all, it doesn't exactly have to rework everything. It doesn't have to be removing hidden MMR or absolutely changing the system where we don't have to regrind or stuff like that. In my opinion, the biggest issue is that no matter how good you do, no matter whatever's happening, the system is right now programmed to force us down, like a little shove us down the pipe and then climb back up the pipe. And they try to climb you back up quicker if you're doing well. Instead, all they have to do is keep the resets way lighter, even during the big acts and episodes, whatever. Make the reset itself a lot lighter, and then start focusing and reworking the system on individual performance. Use statistics and performance to determine how much RR we gain and lose, more than using the hidden MMR to do so, and more than using the entire game to do so. For example, if, there is a mess, the system has you as a platinum player with multiple silvers, you as a plat player were reset to silver, but those silvers are actually grinded from bronze to silver. You guys are two different silvers. There is a plat who's reset to silver who is better than the bronzes who just finished grinding to silver. These are two different subsections of players, but they can be placed together. Then you get 30 kills, your team absolutely shits the bed, and then you lose 13-0. Because you lost 13-0, even if you got 30 kills, you're going to lose a lot of RR, because it will focus on that score more than anything else. If it's a close game and you got dropped 30 kills, you get a performance bonus, they try to reduce the RR you lose. And sometimes that does work, but it's far too inconsistent when that system should be what's leading the way. And let me explain. If I pop off, I absolutely pop off, I truly did a lot to try and carry the team, I should lose way less RR, to a point where some losses maybe even just -3 RR. We need a more in-depth system. It should compare the kills I get, who I killed, how my performance in game was. We should get more in-depth tracking on spike holding, planting, economy, etc. You should get more in-depth. We should absolutely build out systems where, how after you can see how many kills you got on a certain player, it should be using that, how much kills and how did my fights go against certain people on the enemy team, and comparing their rank. If there was another diamond, let's say, who is actually higher than me, who is rank reset to gold 2, and I'm fighting him and I absolutely diff him, all those numbers should be included in how the RR swings. They need to get way more in depth. They do it to some extent, but they need to double it down, and that should be one of the primary factors on how much we lose and gain, more than it is MMR you are versus MMR of lobby, because that's how it is. If you are higher MMR than the lobby you're in and you lose more MMR. If your MMR is lower than the high MMR lobby you're in and you win, you gain more MMR. That's the way. It's actually a very simple system at its basis, but I believe it should be a more in-depth system that absolutely focuses on individual performance first. And I know Valorant's a team game, so that's probably the biggest argument, but the only thing is that we cannot control everyone in the game. That is impossible. That is never going to happen. All we can do is control ourselves. All we can do is improve ourselves. And imagine if you know that the better you are playing, from every spectrum, not just kills, but if it can track everything you're doing in the game, and the smarter you play, the better you play, the more you're rewarded or the less you are punished, you have so much more incentive to improve, even if a game is going bad, even if your team is mean, even if your team is just trolling, you can at least look inward and find personal reason to focus up. So while already in the game, a greater significance on RR distribution based on performance, I think will go a long way, followed by changing up how significant the ranked resets are. Like I said, maybe rank reset lighter, and then around the time just punish people harder for playing bad, so maybe they should have been reset lower and they can actually de-rank more aggressively, or allow them to climb more aggressively based on where they should be, but don't stuff them all the way to the bottom and expect a long ranked grind. For now, that's what Riot does, and it's even worse that they try to shove you down, forcing you to climb back up with no ranked incentives. I won't talk on this long, most of us already know, every creator has said it before. Yes, ranked buddies is not enough, it's not a good incentive, there's a lot of things they can do. Skins are the easiest one, like literally just having a knife, any skin actually, correlated to a rank is great. Like if I can only get a specific skin for a specific gun at a specific season by hitting a ranked, that is enough, because I pull out that skin, everyone's gonna know. Better yet, we've got flexes, like they haven't even used the flexes. Don't just make me spin a freaking gold buddy or something, but you know how there's Tactibear or the Champions flex or a ton of different flexes. A flex that you get for only hitting a certain ranked or 3, so a 3 tier, first you get the first flex at gold, the second flex at ascendant, the last flex at radiant or something like that, will incentivize it. And then every season a new flex, like a new set of 3 flexes every single season, so that they don't repeat, meaning if you actually have an incentive every season to hit it, because it changes up. You have a flex that's OG, it's gonna be like, oh man, he hit radiant way back then, or you hit diamond way back then, and you hit it again this time because that's a different flex. That's pretty cool, and it doesn't take much. Like they can hire an own division, and it's worth it because it's going to make people grind. The more people are playing the game, the more likely they are to spend time and spend money. You know what I mean? So it's 100% worth the incentive. Or even a ranked-esque battle pass where like every new promotion has something small. Could be a unique little buddy, it could be Radianite, and then the final one is a skin, you know, like similar to a battle pass system, but you upgrade it by hitting the next peak, like Iron 3, like literally just go Iron all the way to Radiant. It's always 10 things. If we start at gold, we get the first 3, they can be pretty weak rewards, and then the rewards get better and better as you climb the rank. That'd be sick as well. And then last but not least, punishing people who are just bad actors, bad players, like shitty people who are toxic. There are people who are like, it's hard for me to even process why they're so angry or toxic or mean. Like I personally don't even get it. It's weird, but maybe a karma system, put all of them in a pool together, they're likely to quit the game on their own because it's going to become so bad for them. You know what I mean? Like have people who are genuinely polite, genuinely communicating, genuinely kind, actually get put in lobbies where other people are doing the same. So some sort of karma system that groups good players together is going to increase the health of the game. And then the ones who group bad players together, honestly, it's going to force them to probably act out more, and then Riot's system can come in. You're testing them. If in that ranked environment they are polite, they're going to quickly come out of that karma system into the better lobbies, and people who, you know, spiral worse, just ban them, get them out of here. What's the point? There's literally no reason to have like toxic ass people in Valorant. It doesn't make any sense. And of course, the biggest thing here is I just want to hear other people's stories, because I talk to people on Discord, and I just usually point blank ask people like, do you believe Valorant ranked is worse than it was before? And so far, genuinely 100% has been yes. I have not heard a no yet. It is insane. And then everyone for different reasons. I've heard, for example, in Irons, people are leaving more than ever. I've heard more than ever people just leave the game. So if you're an Iron Bronze, let me know if that's true, because that's what I've heard. Silver up to Plat, it's the biggest kind of pool of crazy resets, you know, where everyone's been reset back and forth, and then I've got like Ascendance and in freaking gold, and like it's the biggest. That one is just the biggest mix of you don't understand what's going on in a game. You might be with like bronzes, you might be with plats, good luck, have fun. It's very, very poor matchmaking ranked wise, in my opinion. In the higher ranks, I've heard the grinding and MMR is the absolute worst. Those are the ranks where they are gaining way less than they're losing despite good performance. So like Ascendant up to Radiant, climbing up and down is very, very bad because it becomes very detached from performance-based RR, which is insane. So those are just the 3 in the low, mid, and high ranks that I can think of based off of what I've heard from people. Of course, reiterate or, you know, fight me on it down below. That's how we learn. And I don't know. Fingers crossed Riot does something. Valorant as a game needs way more than just reworking ranked, but since it's their focus, you know, with pro play, competitive integrity, and mainly having ranked being the front and center, like I've begged for a long time to have more custom mode options, to have a community creator mode. I've begged for a long time for 1 billion features. You guys have heard it a ton of time from me and other creators. If at the very least they are going to keep putting that off or take forever to do it, if they ever do it, they should at least double down on making sure that their main game mode, the main thing that keeps people around, is worth playing. because right now it's not only not worth playing, it's not entirely fun to play. I have to do challenges and I'm trying to make stories out of them using my videos to enjoy it. Like, content creation is my outlet to try and make ranked fun, but I do not understand for the average player how they get through it, because with all that, and I'm still barely getting through it, and I roll my eyes most of the time because how bad the quality of the games have become. That's my take, at least. Let me know what you think down below. Quickly before I let you go, again, make sure to check out GearUp. Use the link down below. You get a free trial, so you can give it a go to see if it actually works for you. And I appreciate you guys for watching. Okay, bye.